what are we doing? We're building the first decentralized autonomous government and also the freest country in the world. Why we're doing it? Because we believe there is not enough liberty on this planet. I've tried for many years to fix Czech Republic, to lower the number of regulations, to make it a little bit freer country, and then at some point I realized it's completely futile. People are taking years to change their mindset about the way they want to govern their countries. And it might be much more easier to actually start a new country than to fix an existing one. And we found a pretty nice plot of land, some 7 square kilometers of land, 2 square kilometers of water, and it's a beautiful spot for starting a new country. It's between Croatia and Serbia. It was actually unclaimed for many years by both countries before we came in 2015 and proclaimed it Liberland. So this is how we did it. With my wife and with a bunch of other friends, we just came there, stuck the flag, and we received enormous response from the global community. We had basically all the media in front of our doorsteps lined up about the new country, because the cause was from very beginning very solid. This territory was not claimed by anybody else, and we were basically following the Montevideo criteria for statehood. And we have to be honest with ourselves, there has been no major innovation in the way these countries are governed, and that's why we decided we also need to innovate quite a bit. So for the last 7 years, we've been working on the constitution and on the governance of Liberland pretty hard to be able to introduce a state-of-art governance for the freest country in the world. And we founded Liberland on the 252nd birthday of Thomas Jefferson on 13th of April to really honor the legacy of American Revolution, which I believe was a great step for humanity. But really, since that time, there has been very little innovation, and that's why we are building this. We really believe that in order to step forward in building the civilization, we need to make some improvements. And you can see that the countries are failing in many aspects, that the reasonable growth of a country should be 10%, not 2 or 3 or 5%. So what do you need to have a country? We basically need to have a permanent population, you need to have a defined territory, you need to have a government, and you need to have a capacity to enter into relations with other countries. And I believe quite a few of you also thought about it, what it takes maybe when you were younger, thinking about how to start a new country. We are actually doing it. There is a nice article by Chicago Journal of International Law that explains that we already follow this criteria. But let's quickly go through it. We actually have 700,000 people that sign up for citizenship of Liberland. That's more than enough for the 7 square kilometers of Liberland. We've got more than 23 diaspora villages around the world. We've got 76 representative offices across the globe that are working on recognition of Liberland right now. So it's a fairly small but quite powerful country in a way. We've got more representative offices than a traditional European country deployed across the globe. We've got our diplomatic missions both in European Parliament as well as with US Congress. We're working hard on the recognition. For example, we just received partial recognition from Dominican Republic. That was very exciting. So we're working hard on getting Liberland recognized. And we're also working hard on an architectural vision for Liberland. And this vision was built by Zaharit Architects. They're one of the 1,000 architectural studios and architects that applied for citizenship of Liberland. I think they did a great job in portraying how the territory of Liberland could potentially be developed. We're having all of that actually in a metaverse, so we can already run through that even before it gets built. And we're already physically building right next to Liberland. This is the Art Village, 4 kilometers away from Liberland itself. If you're coming to visit, that's where we're making a lot of social events for locals as well as for Liberlanders. Actually, from next week on, every single month, there is a major cultural gathering which you can be part of, usually to support the settlement of Liberland itself. So this is from the Floating Man Festival that is happening in August. That's a major endeavor. If you're asking, how can I live in Liberland? Yes, you can. You can just buy a houseboat, move it to the Liberland territory and live over there quite comfortably. That's what Liberlanders are doing now, and that's very exciting part of the story. We've got a lot of beautiful sandy beaches. The community is really great, so it would be lovely to have you there physically. But if you cannot make it to Liberland itself, you can still visit our representative office in Washington, D.C. We have a big opening on 23rd of May. It's going to be amazing because we've got already a couple of congressmen and a couple of ambassadors confirming that they're attending. So I believe it will be a major step for the recognition of Liberland itself by United States. So you're very welcome to join us on 23rd of May or the next week for the opening of this great building in Washington, D.C. And it's very easy to become citizen or e-resident. You just follow the steps on liberland.org, which will guide you. So if you like the idea, and I'm not sure maybe right now about it, just become a resident, test it out, try out what kind of community are you getting into, what kind of banking services you can use, what kind of businesses you can open, and I think this is the right first step. But if you're a little bit more serious about becoming a citizen of a free country, it also takes just a couple more minutes and you can get the passport of Liberland. We've actually, especially for this event, we made it very easy for you to follow the steps. So thank you very much. That's it from me for now. But thank you. I've got one more thing to add. I've got these two wonderful gentlemen with me that are behind this great show. Here, Mike Germano and Evan Bailey. I would like them to come to the stage because I've got something very valuable for them. Guys, you're in a good company with other freedom lovers and freedom-oriented people. We've got people like Ron Paul that have this medal, or Daniel Hannan or Nigel Farage that are also carrying this medal. And of course, this is for your lifetime achievements, especially in the segment of promoting Bitcoin and financial freedom. So it's great to have you on board.
Thank you. It's an honor to get this award from the First Nation on the Bitcoin standard. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. And of course, I didn't mention that properly. Of course, we're fully in Bitcoin since 2015, long before El Salvador was. And right now, our reserves are actually 99.9% in Bitcoin. So anyway, thank you. Great pleasure. Looking forward to see you. See you there.
Wow. There it is.